For a lot of guitar players out there, playing a solo can be kind of intimidating. The prospect of hitting wrong notes or freezing up, getting lost on the fingerboard, all these potential disaster zones can be downright scary in the early days. And so if we're ever going to have success with playing lead guitar, we need a plan to follow when we're practicing. And once a plan is in place, our leads that we're going to play at rehearsals will start to feel more connected. And then later, when we finally get up on stage, the lines are going to really come together a lot better, and you'll have a lot more success, and you'll build your confidence that way. So over time, the success and the confidence are going to be there prior to playing the first note of your solo, and the guitar improvising won't be at all something that you fear. It's actually going to be something that you're going to look forward to. So on this episode of the Guitar Blog Insider, we're going to discuss how guitar players can improve their soloing by making lead guitar practice a lot more fun. Well, in order to make practicing fun, you're going to have some kind of home setup that you're able to go to anytime that you want and just start jamming away. And this means kind of setting up a basic home studio, something to record yourself on, something to play to, some jam tracks that you can create there, whatever it may be. You don't have it to have anything too elaborate, just something to jam against. And if you don't have anything right now in terms of an interface where you can record your guitar, I'd highly suggest saving up a little bit of money, maybe even spending just like $100 or something, pick up the Focusrite Scarlett. That's a great little unit. It comes with some basic Ableton software, and in no time you're going to be able to build some beats and have a backing track going so that you can begin working on playing lead and soloing against some kind of groove. Now, of course, it's great to have a band and have some friends to get together and jam with your buddies, but you can't do that all the time, and you can't do it any time that you want to. So that's why, for all the practice that's involved in being able to create good solos, you need to get into some kind of practice room in your home and start working anytime that you want, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, at 8 o'clock at night. Anytime you feel the urge, just jump on your tracks and start jamming out on all your material, because you are going to need a lot of time to get your phrasing down. Believe me, it takes hours and hours and hours to get good at improvisation and to gain the ability to phrase lines and have a decent solo, which means that you're going to need to have some kind of studio setup ready to go at pretty much any time for your at-home practice. Well, it's hard to have fun jamming out and trying to play solos if you really don't know what you're doing and you don't understand the guitar neck. Now, for those of you who do not already know, the guitar neck is a two-dimensional grid with a repeating note cycle that goes around 3 primary regions, basically. The position ranges are around 5 frets across, plus or minus a fret in either direction. And for anyone hoping to get good at playing a really great sounding guitar solo, you're going to need to get smart with how the instrument is laid out. Know where the scales go, how the scales operate on the neck, and understand how they're used in different chord progressions, and really get to know your general music theory, how it all operates, so that you can always lock down where you're going to want to have appropriate scales sitting upon your guitar neck for whatever kind of progression you're going to be jamming on. Speed and flash are cool sounding and a lot of fun to practice, but focus on melody, because the times that you'll ever have to play shredding stuff are few and far between. If you're ever asked to play like that, in a certain band, it's going to have to be something very specific in terms of music styles. And most of the bands, in fact, I'd say a majority of the bands that you're going to work in are going to want you to create smooth, very solid, well-connected, flowing melody lines. That's far more important. So really shoot for that in the early days of your improvising practice. You can shred till you're dead, but place an important role upon the creation of good melodic content. It's going to be a lot better for you in the long run. The ability to do that as an improviser will keep you in demand around town and make those who hire you really glad that they did. When you're having a lot of fun with what you're doing, you're usually doing something very creative. And if you've ever headed off to the local bar on a Saturday afternoon blues jam, or maybe going to amateur night at the local club, I'm sure you've experienced listening to guitar players who kind of seem like they're not having fun and not being creative. It's almost as if their solos kind of go nowhere, and you're kind of left wondering, what is this dude thinking when he's playing? See, if a solo isn't connected and the phrasing is lacking, we end up feeling like the person playing the solo solo on stage doesn't have much imagination, and they probably aren't going to be looking like they're having a lot of fun either. And if you're the person on stage lacking of any interest of where your guitar solo is going, you're probably not having fun either. That's got to change. So playing a solo requires a lot of creativity. You need to suspend logic and rational thinking and be able to reach the part of your mind that's more abstract, more creative. Soloing is not math, it's an art form, and having a connected sense of where you're hearing in your mind where you want to go, where you want to be on the neck, and having the instinct to get your fingers to go there, it's going to be very important. And that's what makes a creative musician. And you can do this. It's just going to take practice. You want to compose constantly, make up guitar licks, invent riffs, invent scale shapes that are unique, and play along and across the neck in varied ways that are different from the standard scale shapes found in the guitar books. If you do this, this is going to help you invent your own style. And when you got your own style on stage, you're going to be having a lot of fun. Well, for most of us practicing guitar players, we never come to the end of the line and feel like we've reached a pinnacle of our performance, that we're masters of the guitar. Instead, I feel pretty safe in saying that most of us generally, feel like there's so much more that we can accomplish on the instrument. And this is a big part of what helps us constantly improve and become better. There's a sense of feeling like there's more theory to learn. There's more scales and arpeggio practice that can be done, and that we can play better lines if we just keep rehearsing and practicing and gaining more control over how we think on the guitar, and how our confidence slowly builds, especially when we're playing live. Now, in other words, getting to be the best that we can be at soloing means that we are going to be practicing it for a long time, and striving for perfection isn't something that will eventually end. In fact, it'll probably never end, and that's more than likely what motivates us to keep picking up the instrument, because it's just fun to practice this as we slowly get better and better. Anyway, I'd be quite interested to hear what you think in the comments section below. I want to say thanks for your time, and I will catch up with you guys again next week on my other channel for another episode of the Guitar Blog Insider. Hello, I'm Andrew Wasson, the founder of Creative Guitar Studio. Creative Guitar is a professional guitar school that I established 25 years ago after I graduated from Hollywood, California's Musicians Institute. After building a successful local school, I decided to branch out to having online courses as well. So back in 2008, I decided to take Creative Guitar onto the internet and offer my guitar methods through both YouTube and on my website. Since then, I've had over 150,000 guitar players from over 100 countries take part in my online courses, and the courses have only become better with the material having grown so much since then. Creative Guitar has become one of the best ways available for guitar players to reach their playing goals. So click on the Join Now button below and sign up for your free membership. That free membership will allow you to view all the free members area videos, download certain handouts, watch samples of each course, and also purchase individual products. From there, you can take things a step further by signing up for a basic or premium membership package for as little as $14.95 a month. So click on the Join Now button and start taking advantage of everything the website has to offer.